Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to share a little story about mindset and how important it is for me to be mindful of my mindset, which I don't know if that kind of sounds funny now that I say it out loud. But I'm waiting for my vehicle to be serviced, and I am going for my second my second workout of the day. If you caught my last video, you saw that yesterday was day 2. I almost quit, but because of you and the accountability that you provided, whether you knew it or not, I ended up getting through the day, pushing through and finishing everything I needed to complete day 2 of 75 hard. And today was a heck of a lot easier. And as I suspected, I felt a heck of a lot better when I did it. But I wanted to talk to you about mindset because I've been, dealing with a lot. And I know I'm not unique. And you don't need to cry me a river. I know everybody has their struggles in life. Everyone has their challenges. And life is not easy. And yet, even with all the stress and all the trouble and all the frustration and all the unpredictable things that have happened to me, and I think probably to everybody, I can control one thing. And there's actually, now that I say it, there's really only one thing I can ever control, and it's how I choose to react. And took me a long time to figure that out. I've heard it lots of times. I know intellectually what that means. Doesn't mean that I can practice it, or that's not true. I can practice it whenever I want to. Doesn't mean I do it all the time. So I get the ability to improve and level up each day, each time that I actually make that choice. So where am I going with this? Well, I recognized that I'm full of shit sometimes. And I know one of the things I don't like about social media and or any of the I was going to say YouTube, but it's not just YouTube, it's really everything, is that it creates an illusion of, or a perception of reality that is completely distorted. And I'm not going to get hit by a car. I'm going to walk on the grass. But it's real easy to compare. It's real easy to look at other people's lives and think that they're living a perfect life and think that they're perfectly happy and think that their life is better than mine or yours or anybody's. But it's fantasy most of the time. And I recognize that I'm guilty of this too. It's unintentional, but the Facebook version of my life, or the YouTube, actually not this, that's not true. The YouTube version of this channel is 100% authentic. And all of my YouTube channels are 100% authentic, but because I'm leaning into my feelings and sharing them, this is a different experience on this channel than others. Anyhow, I recognized that the exterior of my life and the interior of how I feel are not the same. And I started to beat myself up over many things mentally. And I wasn't even aware I was doing it. So, despite what I've shared in the past about forcing myself to take actions and winning the day and being disciplined and being structured and pushing and all that stuff, which I do, I still hadn't put together the fact that my mindset had changed. Because, and I'm making this video without a selfie stick or a gimbal, so I'm holding this phone up as I'm walking and talking, and I'm in a nice area of Lake Worth, at least on one side of the street. On the other side of the street, there's something like 50 acres for sale. And I'll show you that sign as I walk past it, but this is not meant to be a real estate video. It's just sharing what I have recently been suffering from without knowing it. And when I'm healthy, when all pistons are firing, when I've got momentum and I've got everything aligned the right way, mentally, spiritually, physically, I have an abundant mindset. I almost feel bulletproof in some ways. I've got a lot of confidence. I've got a lot of courage. I believe in myself. I know that I have survived 100% of my worst days. And on the outside looking in, it could appear that I'm thriving. But internally, I don't feel that way. I feel very different. And I was wrong. I said it was 50 acres for sale, 26 acres for sale. And who wouldn't want 26 acres right next to that massive cell phone tower? I'm sure that's where somebody wants to build a house. Anyhow, that's not the point of this video. I didn't realize how bad I was victimizing myself up until I did. And I had this epiphany within the last few days, but I didn't have a label for it. I knew I felt like shit. I knew that I was forcing myself to do the work. I knew I was trudging through something, but I didn't know exactly or fully what it was that I had miscalculated. And what I realized is my mindset had shifted from abundance to scarcity. And looks like there's a swamp over here. Hopefully I won't get eaten by any gators. But that's what happened. And when I'm healthy, I think anything is possible. I know that I have unlimited potential. I've proven this to be true. And when I'm in that space of abundance and confidence, well, everything in my life aligns with that. I have better relationships, better friendships. I meet and make friends easily. I meet and make business deals and associates and clients easily. Everything comes easily. Hello. And yet, when I'm not feeling that way, or I'm not believing those things to be true, wow, that sun is really bright. And I should be wearing a hat. I should be wearing sunscreen. I'm not. And that's not good. Also, who doesn't want 25 acres next to whatever that is over there? That's suboptimal land for most. Anyway, there's not a lot of land here to be developed where I live, but again, that's got nothing to do with my mindset, which does need to be developed. But my point was, I had gone from, with all the things that I am going through right now, with separation, with my family, with my businesses, with everything, I had shifted, unknowingly, from a abundant mindset to a scarcity mindset. And I realized I was clinging to, or the fears that I was increasing and escalating, and the paranoia, the anxiety, the feeling of being out of control. And again, these are feelings, they're not truths. But the feelings around that were intensifying greatly. And I was suffering from these fears greatly. And yes, I was still forcing myself to do the things I need to do. But I felt like shit. And then it occurred to me, it just hit me, Chris, you've changed your mindset. Your mindset has deteriorated, and you're not looking at the world abundantly. you're looking at it from a scarce perspective, that you're going to lose everything. And I didn't know that these fears were gripping everything I think I own, but they were. And unconsciously, that perspective was destroying me and increasing my fears. And I know that's no way to live, certainly no way to operate at a high level. And when I recognized that I had a label for the mindset that I had thankfully only acutely experienced, but was experiencing, I realized I didn't feel like myself, but I didn't exactly know why. And now I do, because that's not who I am. And I've never been that person, but it's who I became for a short period of time. And I talked about momentum the other day. I don't know what it is that changed my perspective. I don't know if it's the books that I read, or the podcasts that I watched, or the actions that I took, or the cumulative effect of all of them. But very quickly, I went from that scarcity mindset into abundance, and I feel a lot better. So I'm only sharing this because I'm hoping that if anybody out there is feeling this way, just know you don't have to feel that way anymore. And actions can be taken, which will, in fact, the only thing that I've ever found that will cure, at least for me, any of these fears, any of these insecurities, any of these overwhelms, any of these limiting beliefs, any of these victimizations that I'm fully capable of doing to myself. In fact, I'm probably the only one capable of doing them. I am, or I can be, the architect of my own disaster. I can be my own worst enemy, but I'm also my own best advocate. I'm also my best cheerleader. I'm also my best everything. I am responsible, and I can take the actions to get out of there, out of that spot. And so you can too. And just know, if nobody's told you today, I love you. Go out there, win the day, win the week, win the year. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video.